So in our current project that we are doing, in last class we discussed about how do we perform the validations. That means while checking these REST APIs in terms of insert operation, if the data is not appropriate according to the valid data, then we are going to get the error messages by performing these validations. Correct? By handling method argument not valid exception, and we are generating the custom message names for each field accordingly. That's one scenario. Then in today's session, let's understand one more thing. Whenever we are going to use this GET request, in this scenario, if existing product data that we are fetching by using available ID number or primary key number, then yes, we are getting the data. What if we go for a primary key number or the product number which is not available in database? What are we going to get? No. We are going to get null. So what is the meaning of null? Is the object is null in the database for product ID 10, or it's some other data is missing? So as the end user, there is no clarity. So the programmatical meaning of null is nothing but there is no such product of 10. But what is the common end user to understand what's the meaning of null? They might not aware of it, right? That's why throw a message or send a message as a result called as there is no product with ID called 10 or with ID 10. So generate that custom message or throw that message. Then for that, what we supposed to do? What's the modification in the code? So because in this controller layer, we are using the URL, which is having a method there. So what's the method? We have a method called as read1 and we have a method called as read all also. Then when it comes to read all, there is no problem of giving the ID number and null values. But when it comes to reading one only, then there is a concern. Then how to throw a custom message when it comes to read one scenario? So for that, so just I'm waiting for this controller class to open. Yes, we got it. Then here is the method we are using, which is nothing but read one product. And we are providing the ID. Then followed by, so inside this controller layer, we are using service dependency. So this is where actual business logic is present. Then if you hold the control key and click on this method, it will take you to the service layer method, where is the logic is present. So when it comes to this read data, with the help of this repository dependency by find by ID, yes, we are getting the data and we are getting the optional product. Right? By default, option class will give you null as output if we are using ID number which is not available. If it is available, we are getting the data. If it is not available, we are getting the null. Then by using same method only, we can't generate our own message, because by default, option class will give you null. Then change that. Is it possible to change the methods present in the repository? By default, repository dependency is giving us find by ID. Right? Now I don't want this find by ID. I want to give my own method name. Is it possible to change the repository methods? Yes. Find by product ID. Is it present already? Is this method is already present in the repository dependency? No, JP repository, is it present? It's not present. That's why we are getting immediately error. In an interface, there is no method, but we are using with the dependency. Is it allowed? It's not allowed. What's the first thing to do? Go to the interface. Go to the interface and add this method as a abstract method. So we are going to get, so change to find by ID or create a method in the repository. Yeah. So let's go for creating a method. So because I want to define my own method. JPA repository dynamically provide implementation to custom methods also. So if we are giving this method, then we are going to get result as optional type only. Then it's not a predefined method, it's a program defined method. Now let's write the logic inside this. Now the method is available, therefore there is no error, because I have to save the code, control yes. Now there is no errors. Error got rectified. Now this return type is predefined or program defined. Programmer defined, right? Then in this scenario, if condition I'm using, so what is that? If condition, What's the return type of this optional type? Product. And is it the product value or product object? All of you. It's a product object. If product object is not equals to null, it means something is there with ID or not there. Something is there. Then in such scenarios, then return whatever is the product. Return that. But if it is not present, else part throw the exception with message. Else part throw the exception. How to throw the exception? Throw new, which one? No product exception I want. No such product exception. So which is not a predefined thing, which is a programmer dependent. Okay. Then with what message? No product exists with so and so. With what? With a given ID. Tomcat. What's ID name? Product ID is a variable. So according to the customer's end user's input, we are using that ID number and we are saying a message that there is no such product available. We are throwing a custom exception. Then is this exception is already defined in Java or defined in Spring Boot? No. Now we have to define the exception. For this exception scenarios, do we have an exception layer already? Yes, we have a exception layer already. So yesterday we have used this for to throw the custom field exceptions. Then within the same class, can we go for one more method? Yes, we can go for one more method. So for the current exception. Now tell me this method scenario. So public, the next again map what is the message and what is the field error. So now there is no field error. There directly we can go for what is the string and what's the message also. Okay. So public, again I'm using a map of string comma string are the two arguments, then followed by no, otherwise I'll go for custom exception. Give any meaningful names, it's fine. Then what's the exception name? So in this previous class called a service class, this is what is the exception name. Then go for using the same name here. Control yes. Then some variable name E for exception. Done. So then here, okay. So exception has to be a class actually. It should be a class also. So let's go. We will define that class. Yeah. So then forward. So which object we have to create? New, say hash map generic type default constructor. Then we can take the references same child entity, or we can go for its parent entity. Since I have used the map there, then let me go for the same map type of object only in this scenario also. I'll copy this and I'm going to use the same thing. Then followed by some reference name of programmer choice, hash map you can use. So then next. So what we supposed to add to this hash map dot put of what we supposed to put here? Yeah. One thing is message and so e dot. Yeah. So first of all, this exception class is not defined anywhere. That's why it is not accepted. Then let's go for @exception handler annotation with what exception name? No such product exception. No such product exception. No product exception. No product exception. Then followed by dot class, because it's not a class anywhere in the predefined or program defined, it will not be allowed. Then we have to go for defining this class. So where to define? You can take one more layer in SRC main package. I'll take a new class class name is same thing. No product exception, then followed by. So inside this class, what are you supposed to do? Go for a constructor. So public control space, same constructor name, which takes a string argument because of the message that you would like to provide. And here you call super of same message and put it in the hierarchy of that exception, which is nothing but extends, which extends in probable. Now, because we defined a class, now in this scenario, can we go for importing that package? Yes. Then once we go for this importing, now let's complete syntax of e dot. What are we getting? So get the message and also get field is there is not, it's not a field. Okay. E dot get message, then followed by the expression called as e dot get class, get stack trace, get message. So one is get message will go for, and one more thing is what is the message you would like to provide. Some message I'm providing as a customized string called as something product. The next return, what is supposed to return? The hash. So this is the syntax of, okay, I didn't use the variable name. Okay, I have used variable name, then dot put. Done. So what is this get message? You'll get the message from the constructor of it. Then inside this scenario, now let me go for control space to import the package name. Then with some string plus concatenation will become string only, control space com.sample. Okay. So where did I define? In this com.sample as a main package name dot exception 2. I'll give us a separate package name for that. Then inside that sub package, I would like to put that class dot exception 2 is a package name. Inside that package, I would like to have a class. Then all the imports has to be patiently to be changed. Now, just a second. Delete this. Yes. We can take the one class code and we can put it in the required packages. Then from here, I would like to remove permanently. Yes, fine. Now add the appropriate package as an import called as which one? The same one. Okay, so because there might be both. There might be both. Yeah. Now package name dot object name and all. Yes. Where else? Here also go for appropriate imports, not the other imports. Here also same thing as appropriate imports. We are getting fully qualified name because there are two imports are present. Okay. So now there is no such package. Now everywhere got rectified. So in the service layer, still we are getting error because throw a new exception with a message. Then why are we getting error? Okay. So service layer, we are throwing it. Therefore, in control layer, we're supposed to get the error, but not in the service layer. So now this throw throws which one? The exception we are getting as no product exception we have to throw. That's the corrections in everywhere. Now any errors? In control layer also any error or still no error? Some errors I'm getting. Throws. Wherever we are getting the exceptions, it's because of not handling by using try catch blocks that we are aware of it. So it's done. Hello. Yes, yeah. So all this class code is done. Now, when we supposed to get this, when the response status is what? Response status is of what type? HTTP status dot internal server error. If we get that, then we have to throw this exception. When there's an internal server error, then only we have to throw this exception. And let me save this program. Let's cross verify in application.properties. What is the annotation? Sorry, what is the settings? Is it create or is it create? So first I have to insert it, then we have to read it. Okay, because it's a create. Let me run this Spring Boot project. No, so it's misbehaving. It's running my previous class program. Let me stop there. And then right click on this project. Then run the Spring Boot app. Supposed to run successfully. Yes, database is on. Now I would like to go for post request of where there's a valid data. Then let me insert this record. So is the data got inserted? Yes. Now I would like to go for reading it with the help of get request. Get request one or get request all? Yes, one only. Now I'm going to read the product ID with 0. Are we going to get it? No. So we are getting this as null. Why? Is it not inserted properly? Yes. What could be the reason for not insertion or no insertions? So database is on, then control layer, path variables, everything is fine. So okay, first insert request body, valid is there, everything is done. Post request is returning what is inserted, but in database we are not getting the actual data. Let's cross verify by writing the query. What's that? Select star from which one? I think product is my table name, right? Let's flash this. So yes, still it's null only. Somewhere the parsing is a problem. So let's check the code. So insert, post mapping is there, insert is there, then save data, request body, save data. Then from here, where it's supposed to be connected to service layer. So in the service layer, so we are using this data and then returning the same product. So what's the thing? Save is a mistake, right? So where we supposed to save? How to save? All of it. A repository dot save. A repository dot save. Save will return the which product? P. Save the product, not P. And then same thing as whatever is the save is returning us, then you return the same thing as P2 something. Then I'll return P2. Done. Now that's missing because of space modification. I forgot to save it. That's why I'm keeping getting the index number, ID number 0 also. Yes. Let me kill the session or stop the server once and then restart the Spring Boot application. Right click on the project, then go to run as Spring Boot application. So it's successful. Then first we have to insert the data with the help of post request. Let me click on this send. Now you can see the ID number also correct as 1. Then I'll change only this product name plus appropriate value plus mobile, and we're supposed to get ID as 2. So 2 products were there. Then when it comes to getting the data with data number 1 or ID number 1, I mean to say, then click send request. Yes, we have the data, therefore we are getting. If I go for something as 11, we don't have the data, so we are expecting our own custom message. So it's still giving the null only. The exception is not throwing the message. Okay, so if product is not null, but it's null only. No? So we are reading this find by product ID. Find by product ID is connected to this control layer. Yes, it's taking the product ID, which is returning optional type. So instead of optional type, if I go for product type, entity type, then let me save this code and stop it and restart. So yes, then come to this post request once again, then click send, it will become first product once again. Then I'm clicking send once again, same second one. And when it comes to fetching, get the next one. Now what are we getting? Internal server error. Then internal server error is not a technical information for end user to understand it. I mean, end user can't understand this. When that it is internal server error only, then we are asking to get the exception, right? HTTP status internal server error. Then by using this class name plus no product exception, it's supposed to throw this exception as a product and also the product. So exception handler, then class name, no product exception class, then followed by yes, hash map, then some reference. What's the reference here? E. Then E dot get message. Then here let me just check what I supposed to move for it. E dot get localized message, get message to string, then get class, get stack trace, print, set, wait, all these things are not correct. Let me just cross verify once by using this get class. Okay, get class is object which is not a string. Then we're supposed to go for string only. E dot get message string, then to string is a string, get localized message string. The next part by the other things are not the strings here. Message some string, then we're supposed to get. See, the response rate is internal server error. Then appropriate exception is this only, but still the response is not as expected. Let's check the reasons for it. Product by ID. Then we want to get a product. Yes. Then return the product. Which is optional. I'm just modifying some part of the code here. This control layer, what's the difference? Here also, not optional type. Just let me cross verify, please once. Product type. Then here also product type. That's a correction in the code. Stop it. Then restart it. Dev tools, if we add, then this stopping, restarting, we need not to do. Automatically it will do it. That's under Spring Boot dependency. Now I'll go for this post request of sending this. Yes, there is a product now, and I'd like to fetch it as different one. See, now we are getting this messages, no product is existing. Because optional type, it's giving null. Because of optional type, it's already giving null. But if it is not optional type, then manually we are checking and manually we are throwing the exceptions. So no such product existing with 11 ID. We can customize this message according to the meaningful way to understand that by the end user. So this is the thing. How do we throw exception or a meaningful message instead of internal server error when user is trying to fetch the data based on the product ID which is not available? Am I clear with this? Any questions? Yeah, just here and there I'm just modifying the code. But now once if we go in a flow, what is the change that we made in the controller layer? When it comes to getting a single product, so previously we are getting the optional type, by default it will give you null. Then we change that from optional to a direct classless product class. Then service layer has a method. And because service layer is having exception, then control layer has to be handled by using either try catch or throws approach. We are choosing the throws approach in the control layer. Then in service layer, what's the change? You can hold the control key and click on this method. It will take you to the service layer. In this layer, here also throws exception because we are using that exception here. Okay. Then followed by in this repository layer, we don't have any method called as product find by product ID. We are defining our own methods. Even though we are defining our own methods, the advantage of JPA is dynamically it will provide implementation for you. Then with the help of that, we are getting the return type as product only because in this method return type is product, not optional type of product. Then service layer, we are getting the same product information. The product is not there, then it will be null. Then if it's not null, return the data. If it is null, throw the exception. Which exception? Custom exception called as no product exception. Then with the message called as no product exists with ID so and so 11. Then is this predefined class? Any exception is a predefined class? Yes, there can be predefined class or program defined class. And that's why first we are defining this class called as no product exception in the sub package. A sub package, in that there's a class. And it should be a child of the exception hierarchy only. Then you can place it appropriately as runtime exception. Otherwise, any hierarchy of the exception is fine. Then here we know how to generate the custom exception. Then how to throw the exception. For that, we already have yesterday's discussion of exception layer. In that, we are adding the one more method to throw a message. And what is the message value? Then we are taking the map of the return type. Then followed by a method name of programmer choice. And if it is predefined, then we are using the predefined name. And if it's programmer defined, also we have to use the program defined name only. Then some variable name of programmer choice, exception variable name. Then we are adding annotation, and the dot class file we are taking, the class is already defined. And when the internal status is, the response status is internal server error, then only we should throw. That's why we are adding the same thing by observing from the one error. Then the same thing, we are putting what's the message as our customized value, then get messages from the exception class constructor. And yes, finally, we are writing the same thing as in the map format. So with all these modifications, if we go for fetching the data with available ID number, then fine. But not available, then we are going to get the exceptions. So instead of exception, we are generating a meaningful message called as no such product exists with ID 11. I didn't rerun the program. That's why we are getting the same message. So this is one more scenario of how to handle exceptions. Is it clear or anything to be explained or any doubts?